something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Every time we stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs, mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop now. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Children, what's that sound?
You know, the tour it was just this mix of good times, really good times, and really not so good times. On the bike, in the peloton, with the bulk of the team, the riders and the staff, very good time. But this dynamic with Alberto was just not, I couldn't have prepared myself for that.
How well did you know Alberto?
Not very well. Had not raced with, I mean, we
You know his name, you know his face.
Yep.
You know
he raced
was
with
good.
us on Discovery in 2007.
Yeah. But did you know him personally?
No.
Did you talk to him before that, before this year?
No.
Was there any conversation?
No.
So you started to really speak now?
Well, the first sort of real contact was at the training camp in December, and then another training camp in February, and then Castilla Leon, where I broke my collarbone, and then the tour. So if you consider, there's just very little contact there, versus my contact with a Levi, or versus my contact in the old days with a George. Very different, but...
It's like, hi, how are you? That's it.
Not even that sometimes.
Come on, Lance.
I'm telling you, it sucked.
It's always been said that the language barrier was there. Was it only a language barrier, or was there more than that?
No, it was more than a language barrier because I can speak enough Spanish and he can speak enough English. I think Alberto is, first of all, he's a great rider. Secondly, he's incredibly motivated, incredibly proud. And he felt as if I was an infringement upon that territory of his, that space, that team, that relationship with the team, that relationship with Johan. That was a violation, which it might have been. But, you know, I came in with total transparency and honesty, and I mean, I didn't ambush anybody in the middle of the night. This was coming for a long time, relatively speaking. But he never got over it. He never opened up
Contador schrikt zich wild als in de waaieretappe naar La Grande Motte een groep wegrijdt met Armstrong aan boord. De Spanjaard is boos, voelt zich gepiepeld.
He felt like that was not correct, what I did. But, hey, I'm listening to the radio all day long, and Johan's saying, stay in the front, stay in the front. Turn coming, turn coming. So I'm doing what my boss is telling me to do. Well, and that was an interesting day because I was not in the front before that turn, and I saw that turn coming. I looked up, and I knew that we had wind coming from one direction. We were going to go right, and I was about 50 or 60 guys back, and I remember thinking, shit, I've got to get to the front right now. And so I was just pushing people out of the way, jump out, sprint up the side, no brakes before the corner until the very last moment, and just completely stole like 30 places. And I'm sure guys were thinking, look at this old asshole just, not braking. And we took the corner, done. Yeah.
In de ploegentijdrit, niet veel later, zal duidelijk worden hoe het met de onderlinge krachtsverhoudingen zit. Dit was altijd Armstrongs finest moment. Is het dat ook op deze dag?
Team time trial, not so good.
Why not?
I don't know. I was okay. Our best guy was Cloden. He was a monster that day.
Surprises me.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely killed it, yeah. That was okay. And I love that event.
Yeah. There were years that you were the best.
I know, yeah. Yeah, but that was when I was 34 or 33 or 30.
When you were young.
When I was young. Now I'm nearly 40.
Op weg naar Arcalis, in de Pyreneeën dus, laat een licht getergde Contador zien wat aanvallend rijden is. Het gaat niet meer om het winnen van de etappe, maar de Spanjaard valt toch aan, tot verbazing van zijn ploeggenoten. Dit was niet afgesproken. Armstrong moet nu verdedigend gaan rijden. Maar had hij, als het moest, Contador van repliek kunnen dienen? Had Armstrong meegekund?
I don't know that day. Probably not, but that was, it's again, once they get the gap, you can't, my hands are tied as well, and you can't bring back 3 or 4 other, you can't bring back the Schleck brothers, you can't bring back Evans, you can't bring back, some of the other favorites.
Contador geeft dus een waarschuwing af. Hij laat niet met zich sollen. Armstrong reageert.
That wasn't really to the plan, but I didn't expect him to go by the plan, so no surprise. It was windy, so that was the only, it was hard to be alone in the wind.
What did you think when Alberto went?
Like I said, I wasn't surprised. No.
Disappointed how close you came to the yellow jersey and then things didn't plan out at the end?
I don't know how close we got, but,
About 1 second or a little bit more.
Get out. God. All right, that's it. We're just going to turn around and go down. Well, back up.
Yeah, I understand.
God.
De chaos verplaatst zich even, maar Armstrong heeft nog wel een weerwoord voor Contador.
I think the team's good. I mean, you saw there that early on the team was good, and then at the end, Levi and Cloden were strong, and obviously Alberto was strong, so the team won't be the problem.
Okay.
Anybody else?
In Zwitserland, een flinke week later, valt Contador nogmaals hard aan. Na later blijkt beslissend. En weer die vraag, had Armstrong hem hier kunnen volgen?
Absolutely not. Not even close.
There he proved that he was the best climber.
Yes.
And then you said, okay, you are the best.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was far more dominant than anybody else in the race. Don't make no mistake about it. He absolutely deserved to win the Tour. Climbed better than anybody else. Proved how much his time trialing's improved in Annecy. He had a fantastic tour from a physical perspective.
En met die toevoeging kan de Spanjaard het doen. De laatste week Tour lijkt het bij de Astana's wel oorlog. Tenminste, van buitenaf gezien.
Alberto Contador!
People made a lot of they made a big deal about the dinner table. What must it be like? What must the conversation? It was never like people were yelling at each other. Or there was this real tension. I mean, I always stayed the same with Levi and with Kloden and with Rast and with Paulinho and with Muravyev and with the guys that we had there. I just continued to be myself. But we certainly didn't sit down together and have dinner. Never, no. No. Probably never will.
Because?
No, man.
Is there animosity?
Well, definitely I think from his perspective. But listen, I don't want to... I mean, I think Alberto's a good rider. He's a great rider. And I think he had a tremendous tour. But I don't give a shit. I mean, I have a great life, and I was content with, I think it surprises people, I was content with my performance. And I'm going to go back again, and we're going to try this from a different perspective with a new team and a different team, and I'm going to do everything I can to try and win. And if he wins, that's why we have the event. So we get to say he's the strongest, or he's the second strongest, or he's the third strongest. But I just try to be more relaxed about it now than I was in the past.
Op de, zoals dat zo fraai heet, mystieke berg de Ventoux krijgt Armstrong eerst kippenvel bij het zien van de grote mensenmassa's, maar moet daarna vol aan de bak. Hij moet, bijna solo, zijn derde plaats in het klassement verdedigen. Het blijkt dat blinde eerzucht hem nu ver drijft.
First of all, I felt very good. And secondly, when you feel good, you have that confidence. And so I had been feeling better in the days leading up to that, but yeah, they weren't going to take... That's one thing that I didn't want. I would have been really disappointed if I would have slipped to fourth or slipped to fifth. That would have been bad. So, they were attacking like hell, trying to take it.
But you said no way, Jose.
I told Frank, because Frank Schleck kept attacking, and I mean, he's a good buddy of mine, and I can tell him anything, and he can tell me anything. I went up to him and I said, Frank, I know you have to keep attacking, but you may as well stop, because I'm not going anywhere. He's like, I have to keep trying. I was like, okay, well, you keep trying, but not today, man. No way.
En zo verwelkomt Parijs Alberto Contador als terechte toerwinnaar. De jonge Luxemburger Andy Schleck wordt tweede en tot verbazing van vele sportvolgers wordt Armstrong derde. Reden voor de sportkrant L'Équipe om Armstrong, nogal verrassend, te eren met deze kop.
It was screaming headline on the front page with the picture, Chapeau, Le Texan. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. They throw dirt at you for some 10 years,
Yeah.
and then once they said, chapeau, le Texan.
But it's a different world over there now. I mean, I think if you look at ASO and you look at the Tour and you look at L'Équipe, it's all different, and the leadership is different, the direction is different. That's certainly made a big difference in my life. And I think it's made a difference in their coverage of cycling.
En ineens is Armstrong dus niet de veelvraat en de vijand die misschien wel stiekeme dingen deed. Men afficheert hem als trotse huisvader, die goed gepresteerd heeft in een hondzware sportieve uitdaging. Lance Armstrong en dopingcontroles. Hij kan er een boek over schrijven, maar doet dat niet. In 1 seizoen werd hij meer dan 40 maal gecontroleerd. Een record in de topsport. Men keek overal over zijn schouder mee als hij plaste. Hij kreeg overal ter wereld op de meest ongebruikelijke tijden bezoek van controleurs. Nergens vond men een spoor van valspelen, maar er waren insiders die nog altijd aan zijn oprechtheid twijfelden.
Mark, they can't say that. I mean, they can say it, but it's very hard to believe them now. I'm 38 years old. I'm still here. I was 21 and I was winning stages in the Tour. I was winning the World Championships, and I won and I won and I won and I won. And along the way, yeah, there was things here and there and said and accusations. Nobody is that smart. Nobody is that conniving. Nobody is that good to try and get away with something for 17, 18, 19 years. No way. No.
But in my estimation, they still want to hang you
Yeah,
for some
I'm
reason.
sure there's a couple of people, for sure. I mean, if you look at, and I, you know what, I'm gonna back up there. I wouldn't say they want to hang me. I would say they want to hang cycling. And they know that if they hang me, they have hung cycling. And so I look at it that way. I look at that as a pursuit of our sport. I mean, a guy like Bourdrie, don't know anything about him, don't know him personally, maybe good guy, maybe bad guy. He has it out for cycling. And he knows that I'm the quickest way to get that sport. But that